because sports bring people together better than anything. You know, when we won the national championship in 2003 at LSU, I had Jesse Jackson came in and speak to the team. And he said to me, he said, your team on a Saturday night in Tiger Stadium is closer to the kingdom of God than my church. I said, Jesse, you ever been in LSU Stadium on a Saturday night? You can smell the bourbon on the 50-yard line. And he said, no. He said, everybody has the same goal. The rules are clearly defined, and everybody's together in spirit. So we all have a responsibility and obligation to bring people together because our platform in sports can do that for so many folks. So help someone, bring people together. God bless you, and thank you very much.
Hello and welcome to Tigers Roar. I am Jonathan Poche, joined as always by the Bud Man, Buddy Songy. We're here at Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Come grab some great food at old school prices. A lot going on. You saw the intro, Nick Saban's comments. If you haven't seen the whole speech, I encourage you to go on YouTube, watch. It's only like 7 minutes long. His message is about bringing people together using our platform in sports. Of course, Buddy has been in this business for over 30 years, just like Coach BK. I'm still finding my way, but I still play a small part in this platform. And got to say, with the events that happened Saturday, we don't talk politics on this show, but I have to say, God has put it on my heart to let everybody know I see him working in this country. Keep the faith. There's only one place that joy and peace truly comes from, and that is the good Lord. So keep the faith, America. Say your prayers and have trust where it's supposed to be in the big man upstairs. Getting back to the ESPYs, a lot of LSU flavor. You know, Flau'jae Johnson had a performance. She has a song with Lil Wayne coming out. Jaden Daniels receives a Male Collegiate Athlete of the Year. LSU flavor all over the board. And, of course, SEC Media Days also kicked off yesterday as we tape here on July the 16th or Tuesday. LSU was day one. Coach Brian Kelly, going into year 3, gave his expectations for his team, what success will look like for his team. He also brought quarterback Garrett Nussmeier, linebacker Harold Perkins, and tight end Mason Taylor along with him. We'll let you guys hear from all 4 of the press conferences from Media Day yesterday, and get Budman's take on it. We'll talk about the performances of the athletes and the coach, how they looked, and expectations here moving to the 2024 season. So without further ado, we're bringing the Budman. Pleasure to see you again here on Tuesday, Budman.
Good to see you, JP. Happy talking season, everyone. This is when it starts. You start to, in your brain, in your mind, in your whole body, start to plan what games you're going to go to, how much Mandel sausage you're going to serve on Saturday nights or Sundays when you play on Sundays. And this is a lot of lobbying. Of course, Kirby Smart is expected to be picked number 1 in the SEC. First time since 91, no divisions. Going to be weird when you hear LSU's pick 6th or 7th or 8th. And what we're telling you here is that they're under the radar. Now, I've got some media members that come on the show with me, and they have kind of washed their hands of LSU and said 9-3, I think you will see. On the other hand, I don't think anybody knows. There are a lot of answers that will be coming to you and all the LSU fans in the coming days and weeks. Camp is going to start once again Thursday, August 1. They report Wednesday, July 31, and JP, I think that what I'm getting at is that everything is bigger in Texas. They're at Big D, Dallas. Look, it's a great setup. They're going back to Atlanta next year, but this is just all a bunch of talk, and we'll get into some of the particulars, but most people thinking that Georgia and Texas are the best 2 teams going into the 2024 season. Nick Saban did say LSU's a sleeper team. I don't expect many LSU Tigers to be on the preseason first team, and we'll talk about rankings and what all that stuff means. But look, don't get your panties in an uproar if LSU comes in here 6, 7, or 8, because now with the addition of Texas and OU, JP, I mean, we talk about it in just about every sport, without a doubt, the best conference in the country. 1 through 10, you just can't touch it.
All right, we'll take a quick break here on Tigers Roar. When we come back, we'll let you guys hear from head coach Brian Kelly from Dallas yesterday as he was kicking off the SEC Media Days, giving his outlook for the 2024 season and his LSU Tigers. You don't want to miss it. You're watching Tigers Roar right here on Pelican Sports TV.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Embrace the luxury, safety, and comfort of Mazda with 0% financing at Team Mazda. Right now, get 0% financing on any new Mazda CX-5, Mazda CX-30, Mazda CX-50, or Mazda CX-90. The savings are here at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
Hello, welcome back to Tigers Roar. Jonathan Poche and the Budman Buddy Songy. Don't forget, check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. All the Tigers Roars, all the talking sports with Chris Powers, everything we do at the Pelican is archived right there for your viewing pleasure. So go ahead and check it out, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. It's time to talk some LSU football. Get the juices flowing because SEC Media Days kicked off yesterday, July 15th. Also, I know it doesn't mean anything to you, Budman, but NCAA College Football 25 was like pre-released to the Xbox players yesterday, so it was a big day for college football. One of those players was Garrett Nussmeier that traveled with Coach Brian Kelly, and BK could not be more confident in the transition from the Heisman Trophy winning Jaden Daniels to Garrett Nussmeier, a guy who's been at LSU for 4 years, knows the playbook in and out, is an excellent leader. What BK said was, and I quote, he holds everyone accountable. Who's left out of everyone? Garrett Nussmeier is the leader you need in the locker room. He's a coach's kid. He has all the right things to say. We will get to Garrett Nussmeier's interview a little bit later on this program. We're going to start with Coach BK. I have his press conference from the main stage. to me, Bud, man, he looked a little nervous up there. It was
looked
not
a little off. I mean,
was
come
not
on, BK, you ought to have a purple tie. Come on. What the hell's going on? You look like an Alabama coach. And for the life of me, quit saying Mississippi. Now, look, we had to teach Nick Saban, and Nick will verify this. I said, the first time he said Ole Miss was Mississippi, I said, Coach, you're Ole Miss. Why they Ole Miss? I don't know.
Right.
Well, you look it up, and it's a pretty interesting story. Google it if you want to find out the reason. But start saying Ole Miss and wear a frickin' purple tie and act like you're going to go out there and kick butt. I did see a little doubt, but he's so well-spoken. And in year 3, he's been very good. Look, there's a lot of questions. How good is Garrett Nussmeier going to be on the night of September 1? We don't know that.
Yep.
We know they're going to protect him, know that they got a big offensive line, they got a bunch of receivers, but they haven't done it consistently. New offensive coordinator, but I am still positive of this one thing. If you take care of business and beat USC in Vegas, now you have a chance to get better each week.
Yep.
Third week is going to be a cockfight. You're going to play the Gamecocks at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
They're going to be Banty Roosters, and I'm going to predict it again. Pulmonary will be introduced before the game or at halftime. Rubbing a little LSU, get the juices. And then, of course, if you don't beat UCLA and South Alabama, you beat USC, and then USC East. How about that?
Yep.
The Trojans and then the Gamecocks.
Right.
You're 5-0 with a week to get ready for Ole Miss. You stumble out of the gate. Don't have your act together. Faux pas on special teams. Lordy, Dr. Phil has already said he will have to be down here not 1 but 2 weeks, because in year 3, expectations, we keep saying it, JP, 12 to 15 national. I really think because of this Texas and Oklahoma influence with the media, you could see LSU picked Thursday 6, 7, or 8, so don't get your feelings hurt.
Yep.
If Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Ole Miss, Missouri, Oklahoma, LSU, Tennessee, A&M,
Yep.
you talk about that's a hell of a top 10, and then throw in Kentucky and Mark Stoops. So be excited, but back to Nussmeier, let's give this young man a little chance to grow up. He's not going to be JD. You have to compare him to Burrow in 18
Right.
and Jaden Daniels in 22 if you're going to be fair.
We'll let you guys hear from the head coach. Here is Brian Kelly kicking off media days for the SEC yesterday in Dallas. Here's the head coach going into year 3. Here's Brian Kelly.
Good morning, everyone. 6 weeks will begin the 2024 football season. For me, 33 years, and I'm still as excited as I was that first year that I was named the head football coach at Grand Valley State, when I clearly had no idea what I was getting into. But as we go into the 2024 season at LSU, we'll be celebrating 100 years of Tiger football, and we're excited about the things that we're going to be able to showcase this year. We feel like Tiger football has a great history and tradition. Our stadium has been refurbished to take advantage of the pageantry of Tiger Stadium, and I think it's going to be an exciting football venue for everyone. It's been a challenging season. A lot has gone on, as we know, with NIL and transfers, and the college football playoffs is certainly upon us now, and we're excited about that change that I think brings a new form of excitement, and in particular to our new conference. I want to welcome Texas and Oklahoma into the SEC, making this, in my opinion, the premier college football conference in the country. Deep and competitive, and certainly now an incredible challenge from top to bottom. And so when we talk about playoffs, you're certainly going to be seasoned playing in this conference week in and week out. I brought 3 of our players here today that I'm very proud of, and you'll get an opportunity to spend some time with today. Garrett Nussmeier, who has waited for his opportunity to be our starting quarterback. His persistence, his patience, his leadership. I'm excited to watch him lead our football team in 2024. Mason Taylor, our starting tight end since his freshman year when he caught the winning two-point conversion against Alabama, has only been one of the most consistent players for our football team. He's been that both on and off the field. You know, it's hard sometimes when you're surrounded with 3 first-round draft picks to kind of get the notoriety and publicity. And I thought it was only fitting to bring him here today and get his due recognition for the kind of football player he's been for us over the past 2 years, and the expectations of him really being the kind of two-way player, both as a blocker and a pass receiver. And then Harold Perkins, who has been a mainstay for us as a playmaker on defense, going into his 3rd year. I'm excited to watch what he's able to bring, both at the inside linebacker position. I know Blake Baker is going to be able to move him around. But really why I brought him is I want you to see the man outside the jersey. He's one of our top student athletes. He's got an incredible personality. I think you're going to love getting a chance to meet Harold Perkins, the man, instead of just talking about Harold Perkins, the football player. So those are the players that you'll get a chance to meet today. The 2024 football team at LSU is one that, as we go into year 3, has been built on accountability and trust. But it's been built knowing that we have to be able to play much more balanced football. We had obviously a record-setting offense last year, but we didn't play to the standard that we needed to play at times defensively. And certainly that will be the goal this year, was to play the kind of offense and defense and special teams that complements each other. So the challenge this year for us going into the offseason was to make the kind of strides to bring our defense up to the standard necessary to play for a championship. And we feel like we've done that. Obviously, we've got a little bit more work to do with our preseason, and our opener will certainly test us when we open up against USC in Las Vegas, a game that we're certainly excited about. So, all of those things in 2024 have been exciting opportunities for our growth at LSU, and can't wait to get started.
Thank you, Coach. If you do have a question, raise your hand. Please give your name and affiliation. Grant, Dylan, and Dinah have the microphones, and so we'll go ahead and get started right here. Coach, right in the center section. Right here, right in front of us.
Real sweet, Sooners on SI. Obviously, you guys lose Brian Thomas Jr. and Malik Neighbors to the draft. How do you plan on replacing that production?
Well, I don't think you look towards one player. I think, you know, when we look at our football team in its totality, there'll be a number of players that we'll count on. I think we start with Kyron Lacey. You know, he will be certainly a player that we lean on. But I think at the wide receiver position, you know, there's probably 6 to 8 players that will get the opportunity to contribute and make an impact. I think that's what I like about our receiving core more than anything else, is the depth. I think we've got speed on the perimeter. Chris Hilton showed that in our bowl game against Wisconsin, his ability to track the ball down the field. I think we've got the ability to play inside out. At the slot receiver position, I think we've got great depth there. We brought in C.J. Daniels, I think will help us. Zion will help us transfer from Mississippi State. I think we brought in the right mix of players to give us the depth necessary inside and out to make up for that lost production.
Coach, we'll go to the section in front of me, over to your left, about 3/4 of the way back.
Joe Coca with Inside Texas. You had immediate success in the SEC during your first season. What do you think was one of the biggest keys into parlaying your success at Notre Dame into immediate conference title contention in year one?
Well, clearly, being the #1 offense in the country was not good enough. I think you have to have much more balance. So the balance that we need is offensively and defensively, we've got to be able to complement each other. And we didn't do that last year. So what we're going to need is that complement on defense. We're going to have to play better defense this year. And I think we've made the necessary strides in the offseason to continue on that growth. So again, complementary football, offense and defense. And I know that sounds like coach speak, but the numbers prove it out. You can't have the #1 offense in the country and not play the kind of defense necessary to get you to the next level. So playing better defense, quite frankly.
And that was head coach Brian Kelly going into year 3 for LSU, kicking off the SEC Media Days in Dallas. We told you before that he seemed kind of nervous. Wasn't BK's best performance. I agree. Didn't like the wardrobe choice.
Well, look, Brian Kelly is an excellent dresser, but I just think when you're making $10 million a year, you probably ought to have a purple tie. But what the heck? He's different. He's still getting acclimated to the SEC, and as we know, there's going to be a lot of scuttlebutt. Most people, including Nick Saban, picking Georgia and Texas. Texas has a really easy schedule. LSU's schedule is very doable, and one of the things JP and I were talking during the break and during the interview with Coach BK, got to keep Garrett Nussmeier healthy and happy. He is the leader of this team, very spiritual, very close to God, and his daddy, Doug Nussmeier, has been a player and coach all his life, so he is well trained, but let's hold off just yet on comparing him to Burrow or Daniels because, as you know, those two have set very high standards in the last 5 years. Take some patience, Bills, and remember, when you're following LSU this year, have your rosary beads in your pocket. Nussmeier, if he gets hurt, you're going to be drinking stuffed cocktails, and I talk about stuffed. LSU would be stuffed, and I'd venture to say they'd have trouble winning 7 games if they lose Garrett Nussmeier for the year this year. So got to keep him healthy. And I know you're a big fan of Nuss as well. Certainly. You on the Nuss bus?
We on the Nuss bus. We'll hear from Garrett Nussmeier right after this break. You're watching Tigers Roar right here on Pelican Sports TV.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements, and that's where Lee Serio can help. His prepaid funeral plans make sure your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. With Lee Serio, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee or his wife Gretchen at 225-315-6329. Let Lee Serio give you and your family the peace of mind you all deserve.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
At the Team Automotive Group, we're turning Teacher Appreciation Week into a month-long celebration. Bring your teacher ID to any of our dealerships and save an additional $500 off of any new car purchase. It's our way of saying thanks for all you do in the classroom at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
And we continue here on Tigers Roar talking about SEC Media Days. LSU went day one. We let you guys hear from Brian Kelly last segment. If you missed any of that segment or any of this episode, go to our YouTube page at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. It's all there for you. While you're at the page, please click the like, notification, and the subscription button so you're notified every time we post something new right there at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. It's time to talk about the quarterback. He's taken over. He's been at LSU for 4 years. Garrett Nussmeier, the son of a coach, now a former player and a coach. He knows all the right things to say. An excellent leader, a very grounded young man that is also very talented. Coach BK, you heard him say he has all the confidence in the world with this transition into the Garrett Nussmeier era. And, he's going to be the straw that stirs the drink for LSU's offense this season. Of course, plenty of talented wide receivers. It's going to be a very big, talented offensive line. So if Nussmeier can just sling it around, stay healthy, LSU is poised to have a very big season offensively.
He doesn't have to win the game. He just has to manage the game. Joe Sloan, Cortez Hankton, doing it really for the first time in real time. That bowl game obviously depleted squad from Wisconsin. And, of course, Nuss starting only his second game. The bowl game was his first start. So have some patience, but know you're going to be impressed when you hear from this young man.
Yeah, listen to the leader this young man already is at such a young age in life. Here is quarterback for the LSU Tigers, Garrett Nussmeier from the SEC Media Days in Dallas yesterday.
Experience. Yeah, there's no experience like Tiger Stadium at night. Death Valley at night is unlike anything in college football. But, I think OU and Texas both, they've already played in games at big stages. So, I don't think it's going to be anything new to them. But I will say that Death Valley is something special.
Fifth row on the right. Andre Champagne, WBTD. Garrett, even though you lose Malik and Brian, can you speak to the depth of the receiving room and how being deep in that room might help to y'all advantage in situational football,
Yeah, I think our receiver group as a unit, they've really stepped up. They understand the standard that they're going to be held to being a receiver, at LSU. Obviously we just had 2 first-round draft picks and 2 first-rounders, in the past couple of years with Jets and Jamar. And, and you look at the history of LSU receivers, it's special. So there's a standard that you're held to, playing receiver at LSU. And I think our entire room and our entire unit, they accept that. And they view it as a challenge. They view it as their opportunity to be that guy now. I think they've all stepped up really, really big this offseason into those shoes.
Right side, front row.
Mason Young, Tulsa World. Garrett, a lot of quarterbacks from this league were at the Manning Academy together recently. Just curious if you got to know Jackson Arnold from OU at all and what you thought of what you saw from him there.
Yeah, I got to spend a lot of time with Jackson, actually. I really like him a lot as an individual. And as a player, he's very talented. I think he's going to excel this year. I think he's going to do a really, really good job for OU, and I'm excited to watch him.
Front row.
Michael Cowell, WBRZ TV in Baton Rouge. I think we all expect Chris and Kyron to have big years, but who are some of those next, group receivers that we should really expect to see things from?
Yeah, I think CJ and Xavier Thomas, Aaron Anderson, Kyle Parker. I think that whole group of guys, they're all very talented, and I think they're all going to do very special things. So,
on the aisle and then pass it forward.
Dan Peck, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. Garrett, it's an era where quarterbacks tend to move around, especially when they're not receiving playing time. You've been waiting your turn at LSU these last couple of years as Jaden Daniels had his outstanding career. Can you talk about the temptation to leave for somewhere else where you would have been receiving playing time the last couple of years, and the factors that led you to stay and represent LSU here?
Yeah, there was obviously temptation. I love playing the game of football. So, obviously I wanted to be playing on Saturdays. But what kept me to stay was I felt like when I was making my decision out of high school where to go to school, I felt like, there was a lot of prayer involved, and God brought me to LSU for a reason. And I did not feel like it was my time and to just pack up and leave. I felt like it was my duty to just keep my head down and trust into His timing and just work. I know God's timing is always right. Sometimes we want things right away, and that's not how it's supposed to be. So, hopefully it'll pay off in the long run. So I would say I just, felt like I had to trust in Him and keep my head down.
Front row.
AP Stadium, AP and Kelly, as we see at syndicated radio. Garrett, what have you done this summer to concentrate on getting better, and what did you learn at the Manning Passing Academy? I had a chance to visit.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me this offseason has just been building relationships with my teammates, spending more time with them out, not just in the building, but also outside the building. Because I think that's where it starts on the field is, the amount of time and hours that you've spent, off the field, getting to know them, knowing them inside and out, not just as players, but also as people. Also at the Manning Passing Academy, it's been an unreal experience for me, getting to go twice. Just, the amount of experienced and smart minds out there, just, getting to pick their brains and learn different things from them. It's an awesome experience, and I'm super thankful for the Manning family for having me.
On the aisle, right side.
Gavin Baxter, ESPN, the Ticket of Montgomery. Your father, Doug, had a long career playing and as a coach. What kind of influence has he been as you head into your first year as a starter?
Yeah, it's been huge. Our relationship has meant the world to me. Just having, him to be able to, give feedback and bounce different ideas off of has been, unreal. He was able to accomplish everything that I've dreamed of accomplishing. And so getting to have somebody like that in my life who can, guide me, I guess you could say that way, it's special. And I'm very, very thankful for our relationship.
Front row.
Eric Bailey with Tulsa World. Being the newcomer, what are your perceptions of Oklahoma? What do you know about Oklahoma and its history?
Yeah, I know that Oklahoma was a very storied program. Just being a fan of college football growing up, getting to watch different things. I was a big fan of Baker Mayfield, getting to watch him play and the talent that he had. I think both OU and Texas are very storied programs. I think adding them into the SEC only does good for the game. It creates a more competitive environment in the already most competitive conference in all of college football. I think it's great for the conference, and I think it's great for the game.
Left side.
Tyler Shaw with KBTX and College Station. Garrett, I don't know, maybe as a freshman, did you have the opportunity to work with Tommy Moffitt, the strength and conditioning coach? Just your thoughts on Tommy as a coach and kind of what how he helps develop players.
Yeah, Coach Moffitt does an unbelievable job. He's a very tough love type of guy, and if he taught me anything, it was definitely mental toughness. And Coach Moffitt, I love him to death. I think he's going to do a really, really good job over at A&M. I'm very happy for him, very excited for him. And I think he's a very, very special person, a very, very special coach.
Right side, back row.
Harrison Vatnik, KALB 5 Sports. Garrett, have you heard much or any advice from former LSU quarterback Joe Burrow? Has he given anything to you, or if not, what can you kind of take from his story where he wasn't a starter at first, then came into LSU and had a lot of success, obviously won a championship. So is there anything from his story that you can take and put into your quarterback days?
Yeah, his story is very special. He had to wait his time as well. So, just watching him and what he was able to accomplish in his 2 years at LSU is unreal. Hopefully if I'm anywhere close to as good as him, I'll be happy. So,
Final 2 questions here and then the front row.
Trevor Denton, Way 31. Garrett, you've played in some high-pressure situations at this point in your career. One of those was stepping in the middle of the game against Alabama last year. What did you learn from that specific situation on the road at Bryant-Denny, having to play in a huge rivalry game like that? What did you learn from that day?
Yeah, I've been blessed with the opportunity to step into some pretty tough situations. I feel like they've only made me better as a player. Now, getting the experience and the preparation as well as the starter, I think it'll only help even more. That experience at Alabama, the SEC championship against Georgia, the end of the game against Auburn. I've been thrown into some tough situations, but it's only made me better. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. And even the times when I failed, just learning from them, and hopefully just continuing as always to just try and push to be better.
Final question.
4 of your 5 offensive linemen returning, 2 of them started as freshmen at the tackle spot. How is DJ fitting in, and what do you see in that group, and how can they be a strength for you?
Yeah, DJ has done a really, really good job as he stepped in. that's a hard position to kind of step into. But I think he's done an unbelievable job. He's very talented. He's very smart, and he cares. He wants to be great. He wants to get better. And, he's got a lot of very, very talented guys around him.
That was starting quarterback, fourth-year man for the LSU Tigers, Garrett Nussmeier. To me, he looked ready to explode, Bud, man. This man is ready for a big year.
Excited about him. Had a great Peyton, of course, Eli and Archie Manning camp. The Mannings do a great job. All those quarterbacks, they all hang with each other, all have the big Friday night lights and throw the long ball. Look, be patient with Nuss. Got to keep him healthy and happy. And once again, a lot of new receivers. Next time we do a Tigers Roar, we'll talk about Jelani Watkins, number 83, a speed deemer. We'll talk about Aaron Anderson. Of course, all the kids coming in. Watkins coming in from, Daniels coming in from Liberty. Chris Hilton, is this the year you catch the deep ball and do great things? Of course, Kyron Lacey, is he the next great wide receiver? Xavier Thomas, number 11, he's going to take one to the house on a punt return. That's my prediction. And then as you do, and you love it when you have the safety valve in the form of Mason Taylor. Big year coming up for the junior tight end, Mason Taylor, and we've got tape from him coming up.
Yep, another quick break. We'll let you guys hear from some more players from SEC Media Days. You're watching Tigers Roar right here on Pelican Sports TV.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
At the Team Automotive Group, we're turning Teacher Appreciation Week into a month-long celebration. Bring your teacher ID to any of our dealerships and save an additional $500 off of any new car purchase. It's our way of saying thanks for all you do in the classroom at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
And we continue here on Tigers Roar at Old School Barbecue. Still doing live music on the weekends. Come check it out. Great place to have lunch. Great food at old school prices. Once again, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We're talking LSU football on this Tigers Roar. SEC Media Days kicked off yesterday, July 15th from Dallas, Texas. We already heard from Brian Kelly. We heard from quarterback Garrett Nussmeier. The tight end coach brought was one Mason Taylor. Some people thought Will Campbell was going to get brought to SEC Media Days, but BK was very clear. He wanted Mason Taylor to get the recognition he feels he deserved because there was 3 first-round picks on the offense last season. He kind of felt Mason Taylor was a little bit overshadowed, but he's going to have a huge role. He's ranked at 90 overall in that NCAA 25 game, the highest-rated tight end, top, I think, 100 in the game. So, look, poised for a huge breakout season. Mason Taylor going to have a big role for LSU's offense.
You didn't realize I knew there's 4 LSU Tigers in the top 100. 2 is Will Campbell, and of course, as we know, look, interesting to see what Mason Taylor does. How many targets you want to see him have a game? 6 or 7?
I want to see at least 5 a game targets.
5 or 6 or 7 if you're getting it. Look, he's a safety valve. I think the thing about Mason Taylor, he's got to do better. He let the first guy get him down last year. He's got to break some tackles. I don't think he was 100%. LSU's got a ton of tight ends. Des Green from Zachary, 6'7", about 237. Going to use him in matchup problems, but Mason Taylor, nobody will ever forget what he brought to the table in that Alabama game in 2022.
Here's tight end Mason Taylor from SEC Media Days in Dallas yesterday.
Mason, what are you trying to do this year that you haven't done in your past career, and how have you tried to improve over the summertime here?
I think just being consistent, showing the coaches I can hold a lot on my plate. I'm ready for the opportunity, so just proving to my coaches and my quarterback that I can be open, I can have a lot on my plate is one thing that I'm focusing on this year, and just being consistent.
Right side, 4th row.
Dan Peck, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. What can you say about Garrett and the offseason he's had?
He's had a tremendous offseason. I mean, he stepped in as a leader from day one, and he's done a great job of getting our team on the right path. He's done a great job of learning from experiences from Jaden and stuff like that, so he definitely has waited his turn. He's been patient. I think he's fit to have a great year this year.
Front row.
Hey, Mason. Michael Cobble, WBRZ TV in Baton Rouge. Brian talked about having success with tight ends, and obviously the offense will look a little different this year, but, now that it's almost, your turn, I guess, how much do you plan on being a part of this offense? How different can it look for the tight ends, as far as being actively involved as pass catchers? Like, you've had moments, but being a real integral part of this offense.
Yeah, I think we lost some production this year with BT and Malik leaving, so I think there's definitely room for opportunity, and I think the receiver group has done a great job of stepping in, and as a tight end group and tight end unit, I think this is really important for us to step in and show the coaches what we could do, and that starts with in practice, so we got to prove that we can make those type of plays, and then we can fill in these holes for this offense.
On the aisle, on the back.
Kennedy Wright with CBS 42, arguably one of your best receptions of your college career against Bama back in 2022. Are you excited going up against them again this season?
Yeah, it's a great game every time we play them. I mean, Alabama's one of the best college football teams in the country, so like we said in the SEC, you play the best, so it's definitely going to be fun. It's definitely competitive, and it's definitely a great game, so it'll be fun.
On the aisle, and then pass the microphone up.
Piggybacking off that a little bit, I mean, it's a different schedule this year, no division play anymore. Some common opponents for LSU, including Auburn, aren't on the schedule. What's a couple games you've got circled as games you're really looking forward to this year?
Just all the SEC games. I mean, like I said, it's competitive, so those are the best games. Those are the most fun, and I think as long as we prepare for them, we'll have a successful season.
Left side, 3rd row.
Tyler Shaw with KBTX and College Station, kind of going off that schedule theme with how different the schedule is now that, traditionally you've been playing Texas A&M, that last game of the season. Just kind of what are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's a rivalry and just not playing it the last game of the season this year?
I'd say it's a big game. I mean, any game in the SEC is a big game. Any game on our schedule is a big game. So, like I said, they moved around the schedules a little bit, but not much change. You're still playing in the SEC, still playing the best. So, it's definitely looking forward to it.
On the outside.
Eric Bailey with the Tulsa World. This is new territory for Oklahoma. What can Oklahoma fans and the Oklahoma football team expect of a road trip to LSU?
Just great fans and rowdy fans. I think it's definitely going to add to the competitive level. Texas and Oklahoma joining the SEC, I think it's a great thing, and I think it'll definitely be fun to see this year.
In the back, left side.
WAVF 48 in Huntsville, Camder.
EA Sports College Football 25 coming out. Just tell me how excited are you to be able to play that and maybe even say your face on there?
Oh, it's definitely really exciting. I remember as kids playing that game. It's extremely fun, and now being in it, it's a dream. So pretty sure the early access came out today, so I'm looking forward to getting back to Baton Rouge and playing tonight. So it's definitely going to be a fun thing.
Third row, left side.
Bob Ballou, CBS Austin. How many touchdowns does Harold need to score to get in the Heisman conversation this year? And just what kind of leader has he become for you guys?
He's became a tremendous leader. I mean, he's taken that defense on his back, and I think him and guys like Greg Penn, that whole linebacker group as a whole has stepped up. And I think Perk knows it's his time. It's his junior year. He needs a lead, and I think he's done a tremendous job of doing it within team runs, play around practice, and just practice throughout.
Left side.
With the 12-team playoff now, what kind of are your expectations, as a team? Do you guys talk about, the goal, top 12, getting into the playoff, or kind of what are your preseason kind of conversations like as a team?
I think just being consistent week in and week out. I mean, as long as we stick to our process of winning game by game and being where your feet are, I think we'll be fine. I mean, it opens more opportunity with 12 teams being in the playoffs, so that's definitely exciting. And as long as we do what we do at LSU, we'll be all good.
Right side on the aisle.
Jaden had such a remarkable career at LSU, and the first couple games, it was a bit of a struggle before the offense. The first couple games of his career at LSU, a bit of a struggle before things got rolling. What did you see out of Jaden as far as how he improved over his 2 years as LSU starter, and anything you took away from watching him work?
Mm-hmm. Starting as a new offense, I mean, it's hard to get going. It's hard to get momentum. So, I mean, Jaden did a great job of kind of jump-starting it and kick-starting it to get everyone on page. And I think he did a great job as a quarterback, and he kind of lifted us up and to compete and practice and get better every single day and to hold us to the standard of LSU.
Left side.
What does it mean to be here and represent LSU? Obviously, Brian talked about a top 10 pick being left at home in Will Campbell, but you and Perk both being selected to come here. What does it mean to you, and what does it mean to Harold?
Oh, it's a great honor. I've heard a lot of great things about SEC Media Day, so I'm definitely excited, and it's an honor, it's a blessing to be here, so I'm glad to represent LSU.
We'll go on up here.
If you don't mind, another Oklahoma-based question. What are your thoughts of Oklahoma? What do you know about Oklahoma?
I just know they're a great team. I mean, they're coming in the SEC, so they got to have some type of talent. They have great players, and it's a great program, rich with winning. So definitely be exciting to play and play in those games.
Front row and then pass it.
Just the tight end room in general. What can you tell me about the other guys? It seems like they've obviously gotten bigger and stronger, and maybe a little bit more of a threat to catch the ball and not just be blockers.
Yeah, I think we have a great tight end room. Coach Nagel's done a great job of pushing us every single day. We had a great spring, and I think we've been closer than we ever had before. And I think creating that bond within each other and pushing each other to be the best every single day is going to make us great. So,
final two questions. We'll go here and then there.
Listen, what's slightly different about Garrett as a quarterback versus Jaden?
I think it's similar in some sense. I think we have the same offense, so not much is going to change. Jaden was great with his legs. I think Nuss has some wheels, and people don't know that. So, but of course, Jaden Daniels is Jaden Daniels. He was tremendous for us, but Nuss learned a lot from him. So I think he's going to do a great job. He's learned from one of the best to do it, and he's learned from a Heisman winner. So he's definitely going to have a great year this year.
Last question.
Your dad and your uncle are both very significant former football players. Just lessons you've learned from them over the years, things that you've been able to observe?
Just to be where your feet are, be consistent, and just be where your feet are mostly. Don't look ahead, don't look behind. Everyone's going to make mistakes. Kind of just keep moving and keep pushing through that.
And that was junior tight end, son of Jason Taylor, former All-Pro NFL defensive end. The guy has a pedigree. He's He's been around football his whole life, answers the right questions. He talked about consistency, but, man, how he's going to improve to be more consistent. He understands his role for the Tigers is to be that check down, that security blanket. So he's also poised to have a breakout season.
Yeah, look, nobody's worried about the offense on LSU this year. It is all about the defense. Blake Baker comes in. They did get Harold Perkins to get into the weight room. He's now in the 225, 226 range. He's going to play inside. He's also going to be in the cheetah package. Also going to move him around. You know you want to use his pass rushing skills. But what is fair, in your opinion, for the Tiger fans to expect early in the season? JP and I are talking, if LSU can win the opener, they've got a chance to start pretty decently. And then if that happens, of course, you got to get better. But what do you see Perk as? You know he's going to probably be a preseason All-SEC first teamer, right?
I agree, yes, sir. And look, I already made my prediction. I think he's going to have at least 12 sacks and close to 30 tackles for loss. The guy's going to be all over the run game. He's explosive. He chases down the quarterback. He plays sideline to sideline. Instinctually, they just plugged him and played him as a freshman. This guy has grown a lot. He's gotten a lot stronger. He understands what Blake Baker wants of him. He's going to move him all around. He's not going to be able to be schemed for or run away from. So, look, Perk is excited. You should be excited for Perk. I want you guys to hear from the linebacker. Now he's a junior for LSU. Here's Harold Perkins from SEC Media Days.
I feel good about it. I'm confident in my coaches and my teammates to put me in the right position to be successful and make plays. So, yeah, I'm confident. I love to move.
Okay, on the aisle here.
Abby Williams, OU Nightly from Norman. Being so dominant in that linebacker position, how much have you watched Oklahoma's Danny Stutzman, and do you see any similarities between yours and his game?
Can you repeat your question?
Danny Stutzman from Oklahoma. Do you see any similarities between your game and his game?
Who is that?
Oklahoma's linebacker, Danny Stutzman.
To be honest, I ain't really watching nobody else play. I'm focused on myself and my teammates, and we just focus on getting better. So.
Okay. Wyatt Nunn, KMU8 Sports. What has new defensive coordinator Blake Baker brought to the team so far?
I'll probably just say a loving, working environment. Coach Baker, a joy to have around the building. He's the DC, but obviously he's my coach. He's my position coach. So my first time meeting him, he came out to practice with some cleats on, and it made me laugh a little bit because, they just speak to the testament of what he is. He coming out here, he wants you to work, but he's putting in the work too. He's not just out here just telling us what to do. He's showing us how to do it. So that's one thing that I love about him.
Front row.
Michael Cobble, WBRZ TV in Baton Rouge. Harold, what's it going to take for you to be successful this year? What does success look like to you? And I guess, in the physicality of playing inside, how can you ensure that you have the most success?
Just knowing that everything not going to be perfect, Everything not going to pan out and play out the way that you want it to, and just be ready for adversity, and be ready to deal with it and not running from it. I'll say that.
Right side, third row.
Mason Young, Tulsa World. Harold, just curious for your thoughts on there's going to be now iPads and video replay available on the sideline. How beneficial do you think that's going to be for you guys this upcoming season?
Can you repeat your question?
How beneficial is it going to be to have video replay available to you on the sideline this season?
I think that's a magnificent idea, to come to the sideline and see yourself making a play or just the mistake, because why wait till tomorrow to see what I messed up on when I can go to the sideline and fix the mistake or the problem right then and there instead of waiting. So I think that'll be a great addition to the game for all college athletes.
Left side.
Tyler Shaw with KBTX and College Station. Harold, going back to your recruitment and going to LSU, how difficult of a decision was that, flipping from A&M and to LSU?
It was a difficult decision. It was a moment that I feel that I have no regrets on, but it was for sure a difficult decision.
Now that you're in Baton Rouge, what's it like playing against A&M every year, and what's that game kind of dynamic like for you?
It's fun. Obviously the guys on that team, and coaches and stuff, we have a little bit of a history. So, I know them, they know me. So it's not like a surprise, So it'd be a fun game though when we play them.
Right side, third row.
Chessa Boucher with NBC 33 in Baton Rouge. You talked a little bit about Blake Baker and busting out the cleats. Have you ever had a coach do that? And what have you just learned from him? And what's going through your mind as you see him there with the cleats on?
To answer your question, I never had a coach, you know what I'm saying, come out and wear cleats and show me how it's done, quote unquote. But great guy. Great guy. He's a leader. And he just wants the best for his players and his team, you know. He knows how to have fun, but when it's time to work, there's no jokes. It's time to work.
Fourth row in the aisle.
Daniel Brown, KTBS TV in Shreveport. Not sure if you had a chance to really interact with him much since he's in a different position group, but freshman Gabriel Relaford on the defensive line, what are you expecting from him as he contributed in the spring, and what do you want him to contribute there in the fall?
Gabe is someone that I've been watching, you know, quietly. You know what I'm saying? He humble. He put in the work every day. He come in every day. And he busts his tail to be the best. You know what I'm saying? He that for real. I just watch him put in the work. You know what I'm saying? He remind me of myself, just coming in, you know, not trying to step on nobody's toes. I just want to be the best. I'm here to take somebody's spot. So that's what he kind of remind me of myself a little bit, just in that remark. You know, quiet and just trying to put in the work and just be great.
On the aisle in the back.
Adam Ogburn with K10 out of Sherman, Texas. Harold, you obviously went to high school in Texas. You were offered by Texas and Oklahoma. So can you talk a little bit about kind of what you think those two schools are going to bring to this conference?
I think I think Texas and Oklahoma is a great addition to the SEC. I obviously feel, and some of y'all might feel the same, that the SEC is the best brand of football that you can play at the college level. And just adding those two great universities to the SEC can't do nothing but help the SEC go up and help their school go up too. So I think it's a great addition.
That was Harold Perkins, junior linebacker for LSU. Coach Brian Kelly wanted the national media to be exposed to the personality of Harold Perkins, not just the player. And he does exceptional things on the football field. I thought he handled himself well in that interview. He's going to need some polishing to get onto that main stage of the NFL, but look, no doubt he can do it. And Perk's going to be there. He's going to be a first-round pick, in my opinion.
Perk is going to play Mike. He's going to play Will. He's going to be on the edge. He is 225. He has gotten in the weight room. You know he can run. And Gabriel Relaford, number 19, runs 20-plus miles an hour. Going to be a true freshman coming in. Dominic McKinley got a shout-out from BK yesterday. Yep. And, of course, as we know, Deshaun Womack, number 16. McKinley, by the way, is one of those D linemen. Got to find some D tackles. Yep. And we'll see what Blake Baker does. But that is the $64 million question. Man, I wish I had had the same cup of coffee you had. 12 sacks and 30 TFLs. I'm going to say Perk probably 8 or 9 sacks and maybe 15 TFLs, but I'd love for you to be right, my friend.
Hey, the scheme that Blake Baker is going to use Perkins with, he's going to move him all over the field. He's going to be in multiple packages, blitzing from all kinds of angles. He's also going to make a lot of tackles this season. The guy has lots of speed. He can tackle sideline to sideline. So you're going to see the evolution of Harold Perkins in this upcoming season under the tutelage of defensive coordinator Blake Baker.
Do not freak out. It is a heavy Texas and Oklahoma media slant in Dallas. Wouldn't be surprised to see LSU pick 6th, 7th, or 8th. In the SEC, probably JP still 12-15, but if you beat USC, you got a chance to do something. You lose that game, BK will find out just how ugly Baton Rouge can get on a Sunday night.
When asked about what the expectations, what success would look like for Coach BK's team going into year 3, and he just talked about having the right kind of people in the building. The accountability has never been stronger with this LSU football team, starting with the quarterback, Garrett Nussmeier, a great leader, holding all of the players accountable. That's when special teams are born, when players hold other players accountable. That's going to do it for us here on Tigers Roar. For the Budman, I'm JP. We want to thank you for watching. We want to thank AT in the back. We want to thank Tom for doing a great job. And our floor director, Monty, always doing a great job. Check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Thanks for watching Tigers Roar.